Bakugan, Brawl, Rise, new video. Hey guys, so real quick, I want to talk about a new Bakugan rule set I decided to come up. More or less takes the last Mectanian Surge rule set that we all know to support pieces of either a trap, nano, battle gear, or that was it. But yeah, trap gear, nano, or Mectagon. Have two of those. Either one mobile assault or battle suit. I wanted to change that up. It felt like it limited the deck too much, but also had to strategize more, and it could have thrown the synergy of a deck off. I liked how the anime basically went, oh hey, this Bakugan gets this signature support piece. I feel like that would actually be invoked into the actual game. So I got a nice little table here with the Baku ball on it. Here we have the OG Baku ball on it. And I'm going to more or less explain what's going on. I really like this camera. So, I'll grab one of my two decks that I have for this format. You already noticed there's something weird with this deck. That would be the fact I have 3 battle gear sitting here. Here's where that comes into play. I did, it's just yeah. Standard rules still apply. So you have all your reference cards for everything. Try to use those plastic top loaders, is like perfect size. Have your 3 gate cards, 1 of each color, and your 3 ability cards, 1 of each color. So have your 3 balls, and you can't use repeats, meaning I can't use 2 Pyrus Abyss Omegas at 730G. That would count as a complete duplicate, and it would count as the same Bakugan within it. Or 2 Silver Twin Destructors at 100G. I couldn't use 2. But however, I could use a copper and a silver Twin Destructors both at 100G. That I could still do. Or I could use 2 Pyrus Abyss Omegas, one at 700G and one at 730G. That would be perfectly legal and fine. Now, the change I made to this is the support piece clause. And I tested this a time or two. I want to get my brother up here today to try to more play test it. 1 support piece per Bakugan. You don't have to dedicate it like, oh, Abyss Omega can only use Axator gear, Thunderwilda can only use Visor, and Ingram can only use Twin Destructor. No. You could switch these around depending on what the situation of the brawl calls for. It just gives you options. And if you prefer to do that, Like, let's say with a Gandalian Invaders deck. Yeah. But yeah. I think I'm more cracked that code. However, I was debating on adding the rule you can only use one support piece per battle. Adding more strategy and saying this Omega versus Pyrus Alpha Hydroid on the Ingram Gate where they're the same attribute. You can't just go and open up all three, get their all three bonuses and all three effects. Now, I'm gonna add this into the rules. You can only use one support piece per battle. So it doesn't become a whole pay to win scenario of buying the most support piece. You can only use one support piece that grants a power boost. You want to pair a trap with a battle gear to get a specific attribute effect. I would say that's balanced, because you're only getting one G power boost, and you're sacrificing your gate bonus for potentially a lower one to get an effect off of a battle gear ability. Which I was actually meaning to swap out Abyss Omega for Alpha Hydroid in this deck anyways. But yeah. So I am going to add that into the rules. That's much more actually thought of trying to think balancing it. So that, so a few quick test battles. I'm going to grab my Gandalian Invaders deck, which consists of Pyrus Battle Dragonoid, Darkest Phantom Darak, and Ventus Lampirius. Set your gates. I gotta grab the cards for that deck. This deck would be the youngest by technicality for the Invaders deck. So it's going to roll first. 2 gate cards away. Well, actually, turn the table. Dragon, you get both. Actually, roll. It has been a while. So yeah. I don't know why that didn't work perfectly with that. Probably one of the biggest trolls with Bakugan Brawling is that would count as a stand. It opened up when it hit the card. Do your best to place it where it stood on the gate, where it opened up on the gate. At this point, you could open up your extra features. So, And I split all three. That deck. I nearly forgot about the whole Baku Ball situation. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do this. Because now to talk about one of the other rules. Mobile assaults. And battle suits. You get one of either one in your deck, not one of each. Since they do not require much skill rolling besides some mobile assaults. And battle suits you just place down in a gate and open up. Oh, grab your background that matches the attribute. The Bakugan gun itself will open. And roll it onto the gate. I would suggest moving the gate card that is not in play off center field and proceed battle as normal. Rollicus Darek already has a ability support piece in play being. I always forget the same thing. Jacquelier. Mobile assault. He will not be able to play battle gear. On opening the gate, being Copper Power, Copper Sword, not much that Alpha Hydroid can do. Besides perhaps dropping Twin Destructor and hoping to get a lot of heads. Because you need at least 3 heads to match the power of Jacquelier base. So let's just say heads, 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 yes. So he gets that 240G that Jacquelier is giving Darak. On top of the 100, 900, 240, 1140 compared to 1090. Just by base G power alone, Darak would lose. That said, gate card goes to the use pile. Set the gate card back where it was. And start create the brawl. Now, deck A's turn. That would be a miss. I have been debating on making the battle suits and mobile assaults destroy upon a loss. So they can't be reused for their massive power gains. I'm not saying break the toy, I mean in the game destroyed as in... Which if somebody plays the Doom card, it's going to be... But yeah, with all this in mind, as I'm less like constantly I'm focusing on getting my points out. I'm also used to sitting down when I brawl, not like bent over. Forgot Thunderwilder was actually a great blocker. Wow. There we go. Now neither of them have support pieces currently active, so they can both play either support gear. Now with Dark being up by 40G, bonus being 30G's higher, Thunder will go ahead and call that Twin Destructor out, because he has less backing on in his use pile, only being the Fire Soft Hydrant who missed versus Fire Seal or Valix and Anti-Slump. Cavalier. So there is currently Darak is losing. And also, here's the thing with the only one support piece per battle. I could play Team Blitzer. Who would, if I were to chain with a Twin Destructor with a Pyrus Bakugan, he would be able to flip over that Tails to let it keep flipping. But that 120, out here canceling out. Hundred, 9, 10, and 30. He's losing by 10. Toggle gear. Got this effect, and the ability cards opponent plays, Hilda activates it. Give Darak that upper hand of 40. Give him the pearl, the gate card. Yeah, it changed the game. This changes the game a lot by allowing you, making you strategize more on what PC, when you use it, and how you use it. But it gives you more freedom on what PC deck on top of how you're using it. I'm going to put this in a Google Drive or a Google document access for you, so that way it can be put out there and ready to roll for the people. I'd like to see Legacy Bakugan make a comeback as far as some popularity and to introduce this Megalith form. Because it's probably going to be the last format that's ever made, on brand for me. And I want to see. Obviously, I'll put and make it where anybody can comment to potentially make revisions. If it's viable for balancing purposes. I get the 3 support pieces, like one for every Bakugan deck, not counting evolutions, because that would mean you to get 4 support pieces free. I feel like that would be too much. Have an evolution back, it's not going to count a support piece, but you don't get an extra support piece for having it. Like if I were to throw a Scaboid into a deck with Ventus Corridams that have 640G, I would only get once for the 2. Because technically your Corridam becomes Scaboid. Because Corridam becomes Scaboid in your deck. Therefore, it would use the same battle here. Support piece. The support piece slot. So yeah. That is where I'm going to leave this, because I'm not going to go full long brawl, full finish it off. I did want to show it off. So, it's something I've been debating on how to make a video for it. I figured after I got this 34-inch by 34-inch folding table, about the right size for the Baku bowl to where your 4 corners is where everybody can sit. Or if I get a mat for 2 players, which I am looking at getting, customly done. I figured that would be a good way to try this out. I'm going to alter the rules before posting them in the description. So do be warned on that. I'm going to add that after a battle suit or mobile assault is loses, it is considered destroyed. I'm going to add that into the special feature section of the support piece, because I do have in the rules how you use each support piece, how it is played. Well, that's kind of what's redundant. Well, what each support piece is and how it's played into the game and the rules with it. I need to put a bit back. So yeah, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this little video on what I want. I'm hoping for the future of Legacy Bakugan to be. Because honestly, I think we might be able to make a comeback with it. Have to, as a community, come together again, relaunch the popularity of it. Then prices are starting to skyrocket. People buy them again. But I want to see where we can take it. I want to see Team Bakugan from being random messes. Because, like, times that's going to be an issue. Trying to keep them together. The reboot of the reboot, I don't particularly like. Much up to chance for the game is. Basically taking what everybody loved about Bakugan, it full strategy game, just going, oh, random. Like, not doing much with it. And with the reboot, how you had everything open on its own, you're back to manual feet. And the only reason I bought that Dragon was $5. It was $5. Like, cheaper than originals. So, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. I will edit the rules, put the Google Drive link in the description, and we'll see where we can go from there. I want to see this awesome as a research of Legacy Bakugan back. I want to see how people like the format I'm proposing. That being said, I hope you all enjoyed. And as always, gate field closed.
I don't listen to the haters, man, I treat them like the enemy. Had a couple traitors, man, but now they know the pen